one way to let you know the NFL is celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. Anthony Munoz, the great Hall of Fame tackle, former Bengal, came out to toss the coin tonight, which was won by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin, coach of the Steelers, moments ago with Michelle.
Al, thank you. Well, Coach, after a 28-point loss in Week 1, followed up by a 24-point shutout win Week 2, what are you looking to see out of your team tonight?
You know, trying to find consistency in how we play. I think that's what we're all looking for in the month of September. You know, not last week's has got to be a signature of how we play, and hopefully we show that tonight.
You know, when Peyton Manning is on the field, every opponent knows they've got to match points with the Colts. But with him not playing tonight, how does your approach to taking on this team change?
You know, more than anything, we talked about the guys that are playing, the perennial Pro Bowlers, the World Championship caliber guys that they have, like Freeney and Mathis and Dallas Clark and others.
Coach, thanks. Good luck.
Thank you.
And Al, aside from Peyton Manning, 4 other starters are missing from the Colts tonight, 3 on defense, including middle linebacker Gary Brackett, the longtime captain, missing his 2nd straight game tonight, Al.
Thank you, Michelle. Playing with a very short deck. Peyton Manning is here. He's up in the coach's booth, and he's going to help out the guys up there. Clyde Christensen is the offensive coordinator, and he will watch his team kick off. Because Pittsburgh is elected to receive Pat McAfee, who's also the Colts punter, will kick off. The Colts have had tremendous problems covering punts and kickoffs over the past 2 years. Jeff Saturday looking on, the longtime center. We saw Antonio Brown ready to run the kickback, and away we go from Indianapolis with a touchback. And the Steelers will begin from the 20-yard line with this group.
Ben Roethlisberger, Miami University.
Rashard Mendenhall, Illinois. David Johnson, Arkansas State. Hines Ward, Georgia. Mike Wiley, Oak-Waller High School.
Heath Miller, Virginia. Jonathan Scott, Texas.
Chris Kimoyato, Utah.
Marquise Pouncey, Florida.
Doug Legursky, Marshall University.
Marcus Gilbert, University of Florida.
Gilbert, a rookie, so we'll keep an eye on him against the Indy defensive ends. And there he is. 2nd-round pick from the University of Florida, replacing Willie Colon, who went on injured reserve. First play from scrimmage from the 20-yard line. The running back is Rashard Mendenhall. And they fake it to him off play action, and open to make the catch is Mike Wallace, an emerging star. David Caldwell makes the tackle. So right off the bat, play action and an 18-yard gain.
Yeah, some new look guys in the secondary here. David Caldwell back at the safety position. And I'll tell you, the one thing the Steelers love to do is to come out and run formations, go play action early, and get the ball down to their deep threat. You got to play so deeply against Mike Wallace, the speedster. Sometimes the open lane is underneath.
From the 38, again the play fake. And Roethlisberger able to escape, and then the pass is dropped by Heath Miller. That's Mathis, who has gotten in now and gotten to Roethlisberger on both plays. Just missed on play 1 and forced the issue on play 2, 2nd down.
Yeah, sometimes when you're the tight end, you're supposed to block somebody like Robert Mathis. You miss, you just turn around and say, hey, throw me the ball. And Ben's trying to get rid of it. It's the one advantage that the Colts are going to have in this game tonight. You've got some inexperience at tackle and 2 of the great pass rushers in the game coming against Roethlisberger, a quarterback who likes to hold the ball.
See if they can exploit it. Could be a big key to at least staying in the game on 2nd down and 10. And here's Wallace. And Wallace is off to the races. And he'll be forced out of bounds at the 33-yard line. The first guy after Pat Angerer knocks him out of bounds, it was the corner coming up and missing the early tackle, a 30-yard gain. It was Powers who came in. Powers appeared to gamble a little bit here too, and then forget about it. When Wallace gets it, he's as fast as anybody in the league.
Well, you got to give Ben Roethlisberger credit there. Gerard Powers had that thing wired. He knew exactly what the play was and still couldn't get there.
Opening drive already at the 32-yard line, starting from the 20. In the pocket, pass is swung out to Mendenhall, and it's incomplete. Let's take a look at the Indianapolis defense.
Robert Mathis, Alabama A&M.
Eric Foster, Rutgers. Antonio Johnson, Mississippi State.
Dwight Freeney, Syracuse.
Philip Wheeler, at Feelgood 50, Georgia Tech. Pat Anger, Iowa.
Cavell Connor, Clemson. Jacob Mason, Navy Forest High School.
David Caldwell, the College of William & Mary.
Antoine Bethea, the real HU, Demetha, Howard University.
Gerard Powers, Auburn.
I see Freeney coming in and out. He had an abdominal strain last week. They had to limit some of his snaps. And Rashard Mendenhall gets stopped at the 30, so you won't see Freeney in maybe as much as you normally would.
Yeah, and they're basically going to much more of a rotation with those guys because they've got a couple of defensive ends that go in on rundowns. But here it is. Here's their moment. The crowd's going to be into it. You've got Freeney and Matheson. This has to be the big moments for the Colts tonight. These third and long situations. They have to win here.
Pittsburgh lines up 3-by-1 with the three receivers to the left side. And they go 3-by-2 now with 5 wide on 3rd down and 8. And Roethlisberger stays in the pocket, throws, and the pass is incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders appeared to have it and then couldn't hold on. 4th down.
Absolutely a perfect throw by Roethlisberger. Sanders, who played very well a week ago, is just going to come up on the post pattern here. You can't do it any better than this. This is perfectly thrown. He dropped the football. Mission accomplished for the Colts.
Covered by Bethea, so the Colts get a gift. 48-yard attempt coming up for the well-traveled Sean Sweezum. And that 48-yard attempt is good. Just inside the left upright. So Pittsburgh takes the early lead in Indianapolis, 3-0. Sunday Night Football brought to you by Southwest Airlines. You can find our fares online only at southwest.com. By Frostbrewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. By Nissan, innovation for today, innovation for tomorrow, innovation for all. And by DreamWorks' new movie Real Steel in theaters and in IMAX October 7th. The Indiana State Capitol on this first Sunday night of fall. 3-0 Pittsburgh. Lucas Oil Stadium, retractable roof, closed. Outside it's about 60 degrees or so. There's some rain in the area. Joe LaFedge, a rookie out of Rutgers, to run the kickoff back. And LaFedge from about 6 yards deep. And he gets taken down at the 15-yard line as we take a look at the starters for the Colts.
Kerry Collins, Penn State.
Joseph Adai, Louisiana State.
Reggie Wayne, the U.
Pierre Garçon, Mountain U.
Austin Collie, Brigham Young. Dallas Clark, University of Iowa.
Anthony Costanzo, Boston College. Joe Rice, Western Michigan Broncos.
Jeff Saturday, North Carolina at Chapel Hill.
Mike Pollock, Arizona State.
Jeff Linkenbach, Cincinnati.
So Kerry Collins at quarterback, he had retired. Played at Tennessee last year, and he was in Nashville. He was writing country music and riding his motorcycle when the call came. And on 1st down, his first pass of the night is complete to Dallas Clark. So Collins, well-traveled, came up with Carolina when they were an expansion team in the mid-90s and were run by Bill Polian, and of course is the major domo here in Indianapolis. He's been a starter for 4 different teams, was the Giants starter back in the 2000 Super Bowl. And he brings him up without a huddle here on 2nd down and 4. This is a dive. The dive gets taken down just as he crosses the line of scrimmage by James Harrison, 3rd and short.
Well, one of the problems the Colts have run into already this season is they're asking their receiving tight end Dallas Clark to try and handle James Harrison. You know, this is a team that was built to throw the football. They're tight ends, they're running backs, they're receivers, they're not blockers, and yet now with Kerry Collins in there, they're all having to block a little bit more, and it's been a tough transition.
As of course was the case and has been the case with Manning through all those years. They're still running a lot of no huddle, and they haven't huddled yet on this series on 3rd down and 2 from the 23-yard line. And Collins completes the pass underneath, and that's number 799 in Reggie Wayne's illustrious career. Not many of those have come from Collins, though. Almost all of them from Peyton.
Yeah, and Reggie Wayne wasn't real fond of the idea of bringing Kerry Collins in here. He thought Curtis Painter should have been given the opportunity, and they talked about it. And he said, "Hey, Kerry, I'm just sticking up for my guy. That was my teammate." And Kerry said, "I understand."
Painter, the backup quarterback, third-year man out of Purdue. From the 27-yard line, Collins is going to launch one down the left sideline, and it's incomplete. The coverage is very good that time. Reggie Wayne going down the sideline, and he'll be covered a good part of the night by Ike Taylor.
Well, Ike Taylor takes the best receiver regardless right up here, and they signed him to a contract. There was some discussion whether or not the Steelers were going to give him another contract, and I was laughing. I said, "You've got to be kidding me. It's not even close on this team who the best cover corner is for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You take him off this team, they would have big issues."
Second down and 10, and our first whistle, a timeout.
Charge timeout
by the Pittsburgh defense. Second down and 10. 3-0 Pittsburgh early in Indianapolis. These guys have all known each other a long time. We talked about Bill Polian being at Carolina. Jim Caldwell was on Joe Paterno's staff at Penn State. He was the quarterback's coach in the 90s. And Kerry Collins was the quarterback in State College. So that's how far back they go. Collins in his 17th season after the Pittsburgh timeout at second down and 10 at the 27-yard line. This is a die, and the die finds no room at all as he probes the left side. That's Harrison there for his second tackle. It'll be third down and 8.
I think James Harrison's back's doing okay. Double team this time against the big guy with the rookie Anthony Costanzo and Dallas Clark. I don't think so.
Baptism for Costanzo tonight, who is their #1 draft choice out of Boston College. Indy going with the offensive line in the draft, their first 2 picks along the front. Third down 8 from the shotgun. And Collins steps up, and the pass is incomplete. Got jostled. Reggie Wayne was the intended receiver. Ziggy Hood, we'll see a lot of him tonight because Brett Kiesel is hurt. Hood coming from the defensive end spot to force it. Fourth down.
Yeah, Ziggy Hood made a nice play on that one, coming right off the edge because Reggie Wayne was open. He made a break against Ike Taylor and had some space, but Kerry Collins got hit as he threw that one. That would have been a first down.
Pat McAfee. Little punt. We talked about the coverage on kickoffs. It's been just as brutal on punts in the last few seasons, and McAfee punched this one out of bounds. And Pittsburgh will begin its second drive when we come back from the 34. The complete Sunday night experience. You can check out Sunday Night Football Extra on NBCSports.com for all the enhancements. 5 minutes into the game, after a 34-yard punt, Pittsburgh starts from the 36-yard line, and Mendenhall trips as he goes over right guard. Gain of 2. Ben Roethlisberger, 8th year in the league, picked #1 out of Miami of Ohio in 04, been to 3 Super Bowls. Suspended at the beginning of last year, got married this offseason. Last week suffered an injury, but he was only out for 2 plays as Raheem Brock rolled up into his knee. It was a very scary moment, but says he feels fine. It was 75% pain last week, he said, and he was scared 25% on that hit. Second down and 8. And they give it to Mendenhall, and Mendenhall gets taken down by Freeney. So Freeney is able to get into the backfield and knock him down for a loss of a couple.
Well, this is called one of those ghost plays where they're going to bring the receiver around the backside in motion, the theory being that that's going to hold Dwight Freeney. Freeney didn't buy it at all, and he just went up unblocked and made the play. So maybe the next time it won't be the ghost, it'll be Casper coming around. They'll hand it off on the reverse and see how that works.
Third and 10 to bring Mwelde Moore in. Third down back. He's number 21. He stays in the block. And then the pass is caught at the 44 of Indianapolis. That's Antonio Brown. And for so many years, you thought about the Steelers as a running team. And then they've got Ward and Wallace and Brown. And, of course, Heath Miller, the tight end.
Well, here's going to come on the outside. Jonathan Scott getting the job done against Freeney, pushing him past. Here's the rookie Gilbert on the other side working against Mathis, and You give Ben Roethlisberger that kind of protection, he's going to do that.
Bevy of receivers, including Sanders, even though Sanders dropped that catchable ball on the first drive. So they convert on 3rd and long. It's a first down at the 43-yard line. Mendenhall takes the toss, and this time again, it's Pavel Connor, the outside linebacker from the right side, second-year man out of Clemson. Let's check in with Michelle.
Hey, Al, Ben Roethlisberger was having trouble hearing his helmet speaker during their opening drive. The Steelers equipment staff has resolved that issue. They've checked to make sure every helmet with a green dot on it, meaning it has a speaker in it, is working now.
All right, so that should be rectified. It is a loud crowd here tonight. I know that. Second down and 13. And over the middle, that is Hines Ward. He of Dancing with the Stars off-season fame, making the catch. Ward, in his 14th season, stellar career, has to wind up in the Hall of Fame. And his career might be extended and enhanced a little bit by the fact that you don't have to think about Hines as the #1 guy anymore. Mike Wallace is the guy you really have to think about doubling if you're going to double anybody. Third and 7. And that pass is underthrown. That's Wallace going down the sideline. And Jacob Lacey was with him step for step, and it will be 4th down.
Well, a rare blitz coming from the Colts. They don't do it much, but when the pressure came, Roethlisberger was expecting Wallace to go back shoulder here. They've gotten to the point where they're pretty good at communicating without saying a word. That time, they maybe should have said a few words.
Daniel Sepulveda, left-footed punter, sends one down to Blair White, who makes the fair catch at the 10-yard line. 6.5 to go in the quarter. 3-0 Steelers. Almost always one moment in every game that changes everything. NFL Turning Point, all new weekly series produced by NFL Films. You can view it Thursday night on Versus. Good show. Indianapolis on this last Sunday of September. Colts backed up. Start from the 10 out of the shotgun. Collins quickly to the outside Garcon, but he can barely get on track. Tackled by Woodley. Let's take a look at that Steeler D.
Aaron Smith, Northern Colorado.
Casey Hampton, Texas.
Ziggy Hood, Missouri.
Lamar Woodley, University of Michigan.
James Ferrier, Virginia.
Lawrence Timmons, Florida State.
James Harrison, Kent State.
William Gay, Louisville.
Troy Polamalu, University of Southern California.
Ryan Clark, LSU. IT Swagger University.
Ike Taylor. Ninth year out of Louisiana Lafayette. I like it better when he says swagger. 2nd and 8. And that pass is incomplete. Pressure put on that time. Reggie Wayne, the intended receiver. And it will be 3rd down and 8.
Well, anytime you have James Harrison here and Troy Polamalu right there behind him, you know almost without any issue that Harrison is coming. You don't stack Polamalu in behind James Harrison for no reason. Are there tips? A little bit with Pittsburgh, but for the most part, they disguise about as well as any defense playing the game.
Perfect point. 3rd down and 8. Collins throws, has a man at the 30-yard line. That's Garcon. Out to the 41-yard line. So on a 3rd and 8, Collins able to step up. Keenan Lewis makes the tackle. First down on the 29-yard pickup.
This may be the best play I've seen from Kerry Collins so far. They fake the blitz inside, drop out of it, watch him climb up in the pocket, keep his eyes down the field. Nice play.
And now Collins is going to go deep again, and it's a little too deep that time. Intended for Austin Collie. He's covered by Ike Taylor, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, Austin Collie's got a few issues, and that's one of the really brave young men. Boy, did he have a year last year with all the concussions and the big hits, but I don't think there's any question his knee and ankle, they're still bothering him a little bit, and you could almost see it as he was trying to get deep on that one. He's probably going to have to be more of the inside, quick move kind of receivers tonight.
Because those concussions were in a shaded visor on 2nd down and 10 as Joseph Adai, their #1 pick 5 years ago, takes it back to the 49-yard line. Tackled there by Ryan Clark.
I was really surprised watching the tape this week of how well Jeff Saturday, sort of the old man, still blocked. There's Casey Hampton, one of the best run defending nose tackles on his face. Got a little help from Joe Wright. But watch Saturday stay on this block. I mean, that's right where the cutback happened. That was beautiful.
Second oldest lineman in the league. Only Casey Wigman of Kansas City is older. 3rd and 2. Saturday in his 13th year. Collins into traffic that's incomplete. Clark was covered by Polamalu. Timmons was there as well. And it's 4th down.
You have to watch Troy Polamalu at all times. He's going to read this and shoot to the inside receiver. Drop coverage on his guy and almost pick this one off. If it had been a little bit better throw, he'd have had it. He's the X factor. He's the guy that you cannot say, here's the rules, here's how you play defense, here's where he's going to be. He never is. Defensive
Player of the Year last year. Pat McAfee's second punt, his first one 34 yards. Nose down. Sends that one on an angle to the 11-yard line, and there's no room at all for Brown. He gets taken out of bounds with 4:22 left in the quarter. 3-0 Pittsburgh. Talked earlier about Mike Wallace, the emerging star, maybe the emerging superstar. 2 catches already tonight, 48 yards. 107 in week 1, 126 in week 2. Had 100 or more in the last 3 regular season games last year. So he is on some roll right now. From the 14-yard line, this drive begins with a Mendenhall run. Knife to the outside, and Angerer takes him down with Wheeler. Meanwhile, with Mike Wallace, 3rd year out of Mississippi, averages almost 20 yards a catch, highest among active players. 5 consecutive games with at least 100 yards receiving. The only longer streak would be Isaac Bruce in the last decade and a half, back in '95. And Roethlisberger to Wallace, #1 in pass rating when you match up a passer and receiver in the NFL last year.
Well, he actually quit playing football as a youth because he didn't like getting hit.
2nd down and 5. And launching it for Wallace, and it's difficult to overthrow him unless it's in the Super Bowl. Touchdown, and another 100-yard game. Already 81 yards right there. He was kidding around before the season about gaining 2,000 receiving yards. It's not out of the question. That would be an all-time record.
It's just so interesting to watch these two play together because Ben joked about it all last year. He said, they tell me don't even think about overthrowing this guy. You can't do it. Watch him look all pathetic just to freeze him because he knows the backside safety, David Caldwell's not going to catch him. He was only worried about the front side safety. Once he held him, it was goodbye.
Sean Sleason for the point after. 81 yards on a 2nd and 5. And already tonight, Wallace with 129 receiving yards. 10-0 Steelers. Mike Wallace, we mentioned that's the longest streak now since Isaac Bruce had a 6-game streak with 100 or more yards back in '95. The all-time record is shared by Michael Irvin and the Oilers' Charlie Hennigan back in the AFL days. They each had 7. Look out.
I'm telling you, there's only a handful of receivers in the NFL right now I would rather have than that guy. Calvin Johnson, Andre Johnson, Larry Fitzgerald. I don't know if I go past that.
The Fedge is going to take it from a yard in. Colts will start from the 25-yard line, and back we go to the Pittsburgh touchdown.
Well, really, here's the key guy right here, because Ben knows that there's no way they're going to cover Mike Wallace. So watch Ben. He's going to freeze, but they there. And there's no way that the middle linebacker, Pat Angerer, who's trying to run down the middle of that cover 2, could get there. Watch this look. This would be when you're even, you're leaving. Goodbye.
Longest catch of his career. They looked at each other last week on a run call from the 2-yard line and hooked up for a touchdown against Seattle. The new running back is DeLon Carter, a rookie, and you got Polamalu busting up the play.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, you can't miss him, as we say.
Kerry Collins got to change the snap count. One thing the Steelers do a great job is knowing what you're doing with your snap count. Polamalu came from 10 yards deep on that one and hit it perfectly, right in the backfield. The only thing that would have been better is if Kerry had handed that ball off. Polamalu might have just taken it himself in for the touchdown.
Says to the rookie Carter, here's your welcome from the Pittsburgh defense. Harrison says, and don't forget about me either.
They're in a battle for the defensive MVP in one game. James Harrison is a monster. You can just forget this plan. That's not working. Dallas Clark said, "You come on. It's not happening over here. I'm not blocking that guy. He's too big, too strong." Wow. The Steelers are starting to look like the Steelers the last 2 weeks.
Right. 3rd and 11. Collins flips it to the outside, and it's tiny little gain for Adai. Coming up to make the tackle on the play was William Gay, and a very fast 3 and out.
Well, one of the things the Baltimore Ravens did when they really destroyed Pittsburgh in that opener was cut block. And you're going to see this up and down the line of scrimmage. There's Mike Pollock going in after Casey Hampton. Really gave some problems inside. That is a play that they're going to allow. They're going to allow that next guy in to come after him, and defensive linemen hate it.
3rd punt of the quarter for McAfee. Fielded 19-yard line by Brown. Escapes the first guy, but not the second. Angerer makes the tackle at the 19-yard line. 149. You know, we're talking about Mike Tomlin, 5th year, and it's funny how around the league, general managers, owners are basically saying, owners to GMs, can you find me the next Mike Tomlin? 4 years in the league. He's only 39 years old. Tremendous success. He's very interesting. I love the way he may be, of all the coaches we interview, I don't want to rank him in terms of favoritism, but I'll tell you what, he's in our exacta box right now, up near the top, isn't he?
Exactly. You know, it's so fun to talk with him, too, because you're talking about, okay, the James Harrison incident, he said some things about the commissioner, whatever, and most coaches will go, oh, you know, really, I had to talk to him. He's like, it's just James. He's like one of the guys on the team, and yet he can lead as the head coach in a very unique way.
And it's amazing how his brain works as the pass here is incomplete. Last week, Roethlisberger, it is complete for a short gain, if any. Last week, Roethlisberger got rolled up on, and for just a minute in Pittsburgh, everybody had their hearts in their throats because it looked like Ben could have suffered a season-ending injury when he got hit by Raheem Brock. And I said to Tomlin last night, what's the first thing? Verbalize what was in your brain those first 5 seconds. He said, I was mad at myself for not having a hat on Dennis Dixon, meaning he only had 2 quarterbacks. He didn't activate Dixon, so he was down to Charlie Batch. That's the first thing he thought of.
He said Ben always gets up. I don't worry about him.
Yeah, 2nd and 8. And that's Mendenhall. Wow. Right into the middle linebacker, Pat Angerer, 2nd year out of Iowa.
This is beautiful by the young linebacker. Watch Pat Angerer take a little route around here and surprise Mendenhall. David Johnson just couldn't find the guy. That's his guy. He just couldn't find him in all that mess. Beautiful.
Angerer in that gap. Gary Brackett, Michelle talking about the other injuries, is out again tonight. Inactive. 3rd down and 7 now. Final half minute of the first quarter. 4-man rush, pass over the middle, and finding that seam is Heath Miller. For so long, Heath Miller coming up big on 3rd down plays, and does it again here as we end the first quarter. Miller with his first catch of the night. Big quarter, of course, for Wallace with those 3 catches. Harrison has made his presence known on defense. What else is new? And that's the end of one in Indy. 10-0 Pittsburgh. And Sunday Night Football resumes after these messages. Aerial coverage above Indianapolis tonight being brought to you by Geico. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, and Michelle Tafoya. Week 3 of the 2011 NFL season. The Pittsburgh Steelers bloodied on opening day by Baltimore 35-7. 7 turnovers. Rebound last week, and there you see the numbers for Ben Roethlisberger in the first quarter. Start the second quarter with a 1st and 10 at the 35. Mendenhall. And that's Antoine Bethea coming up to make the tackle after a gain of a couple.
You know, Ben Roethlisberger is one of those guys that if you talk to the coaches on the Pittsburgh Steelers now, they say he just gets it now. He woke up one day, as they'll tell us, as the second oldest player on this offense behind Hines Ward. But he's spending so much time with the rookies, with the guys that are on the practice squad. He'll have dinner with them. He knows he is the guy now. And I think for the longest time, he always kind of felt like the kid on the team. Now he has to be the leader, and he's starting to assume that role.
8th year. Throws to the outside, and that's caught by Ward. And there's a nice play by Johnson coming in, knifing through to make sure that Hines couldn't get on track. 3rd and 7.
Well, Terrence Johnson getting some playing time now for the Colts in place of Jacob Lacey. They've been fishing a little bit out there at the cornerback position. We're going to see a lot of new faces back there. Joe Lefebvre, David Caldwell, Terrence Johnson. They're looking for the right combination for the Colts.
One guy they're missing in that secondary tonight, Melvin Bullitt, the safety. 3rd and 7. 5 receivers set. And Roethlisberger with patience and time and winds up hitting Antonio Brown over the middle. And Brown takes the ball to the 46-yard line of the Colts for a 1st down on another 3rd down conversion. Gain of 17 yards.
Good adjustment here by the Steelers. They're keeping their tight ends in here to keep Freeney and Mathis wide, not letting them get a direct shot on their tackles. There's Mathis way outside, but it takes a long time for him just to get to Marcus Gilbert, and that allows Roethlisberger to step up and hit this crossing route.
Roethlisberger, 9 out of 13, already 188 yards. 17 minutes into the game. And Mendenhall, and he gets almost taken down, and then the rest of the Colts are able to finish up what Powers started.
Well, the Steelers really caught a break on that screen. The Colts had an inside stunt coming from both defensive linemen. When it first started, I thought that was going to be a nice big play, but Gerard Powers came out and stopped it before it could really get started. They go in here, which usually is a great sign for a screen pass. Looks like it's set up pretty well, but Powers came up and made the play.
Larry Coyer, the defensive coordinator, came here when Jim Caldwell got the job. Caldwell had played for Coyer years ago in college at Iowa. And Pittsburgh's going to take a timeout there second. Timeout 2nd and 11 when we come back to Indianapolis.
We talked to Mike Wallace last night. We asked him, has there ever been anybody on the football field that can run with you? His answer was, nope. And you see it here. Ben's going to step up, and by the time he releases his football there, we're going to keep track of how far Mike Wallace ran from that moment. 2.6 seconds, 23 yards. That's like Usain Bolt flying down the field. There is no substitute for that kind of speed.
Ran track in high school. Said, I didn't like to run the sprints. I just wanted to be the anchor guy on the relay team.
The 4x100. I'm sure he pulled the coach pulled his hair out with that.
2nd and 10, and the pass is dropped. Antonio Brown on the outside on a little pick play. It'll be 3rd and 11.
Yeah, and here we go again. You know, this is it's been sort of a 50-50 shot for this defense. We'll see the Steelers go protection first. It's one of the things they can do. They have 3 different tight ends that can block. Maybe the Colts' answer was some kind of a blitz inside because they're really protecting the outside edge here against their two great pass rushers.
See the Colt defense and the problems they've had stopping teams on third down tonight. Pittsburgh 3 out of 5. And they've been long third downs, as is the case here. And Roethlisberger's going to get hit from behind and loses the football at the 50-yard line. Colts think they have it. Do the officials think so too? They do. Robert Mathis came from behind, sneaked up on him. And the king of the sack fumble.
Yeah, no question. These two guys do this on such a regular basis, you can never be surprised by it anymore. Marcus Gilbert, the rookie, thought he did a great job. He had Mathis all the way outside around Roethlisberger, but when Roethlisberger scrambled, you could see him sort of look back to see where Mathis was. Freeney came inside on that stunt, but Roethlisberger was looking for Mathis. He just didn't think he was going to come from that deep.
33 career sack fumbles and a fumble recovery as well that time for Mathis, as Lamar Woodley is there to take care of Joseph Adai at the line of scrimmage.
Well, but the problem is they're getting so completely manhandled on the offensive side by these two outside linebackers. That time it was Lamar Woodley just absolutely wearing them out. And so Mathis can make a great play, but now their offense has to make it pay for them. You cannot go 3 and out here. Here's the momentum shift you're looking for. You have to make a play here.
They've run 16 plays for a total of 56 yards. Got to get it down the field. 2nd and 9. Can Collins do it this time? And then it's dropped. He had Garcon. That's been Garcon's problem. He's a very good receiver, but he drops a lot of passes. 3rd and 9.
Oh boy, there it was. You end up with Troy Polamalu on the edge, coming on a blitz. The Colts do a perfect job of picking this thing up. Joseph Adai, Collins steps up, delivers a perfect ball. And I have to tell you, the first thing I thought of when I saw this was the Super Bowl. You know, he had one just like that. He is a tremendous talent. For whatever reason, he drops as many balls as anybody in the game.
11 last year, 2nd in the league, second only to Wes Welker, who catches a few, by the way. 3rd down and 9 as the play clock goes to 0, and Indianapolis is able to save 5 yards by taking a timeout. Pittsburgh 10 and the Colts nothing.
No question, one of the greatest players to ever play the game, if not the greatest. And here's a big reason why. Watch his release here and just how quickly he gets the ball out of his hands. Pass rushers have virtually no chance, and that release, 0.3 seconds. You just can't do it any faster than that, especially for a big, tall guy. Kerry Collins by comparison. A little more of a wind-up. Just a slower delivery. It's not an indictment of Collins. It's just a simple fact that only a handful of guys can do what Peyton Manning can do.
Almost twice as long. 3rd down and 9 now after the Colt timeout. Here they come, and it's picked up, and it's Colley who's able to make the catch, and before Gay can knock him down, he has a 1st down. So a big 3rd down conversion for the Colts, trying to take advantage of that fumble recovery.
I have never seen this before. Troy Polamalu had to be, what is that, 30 yards deep on this play? And, you know, he's the X factor. He's the guy that you go, oh boy, I really... There we go. We can measure anytime.
Of course.
That's got to be in our Olympic coverage. That's great.
I thought they were going to pooch punt it. Here's Collins there outside, way overthrown over the head of Reggie Wayne.
Oh, that is what Reggie Wayne was talking about yesterday when we visited with him. He said, you know, Peyton and I have done this so long. When I sink my hips and come out, the ball is there. When I sink my hips and come out, when Kerry's, I look at him holding the ball still. This time the timing was there, or Kerry was trying to make the timing work, but he just sailed it over his head. That's what comes with experience that he had with Peyton Manning and what they just don't have here yet.
Peyton, the #1 pick in '98, started as a rookie, and of course the first game he missed in his NFL career was opening day in Houston. Fake to a dime, and the pass is caught this time by Wayne. And that's 800 career catches for Reggie Wayne. Almost always lines up on that side, and a first down for the Colts.
Well, the big guy, Anthony Costanzo, got out there. And there you go, Reggie Wayne, 800 for his career. Congratulations to him. But watch the tackle get a little piece there of Ziggy Hood inside and then lead the way down the field. Reggie Wayne has been some player, and I tell you, he practices every day. He once went 8 straight years without missing a game or a practice.
Jerry Rice, the all-time record, 1,549 catches. And here is a guy with some good, tough running. And that's a first down again as he takes it to the 16-yard line before Woodley makes the tackle. And Mike Tomlin has watched his team give up the ball on the fumble. And now to the Colts driving.
Well, let's give Dallas Clark some credit here. He's going to get the turnout. Costanzo's going to get the hook. And here they go. You know, don't be stunned if the Colts have a little success running the ball. When you put on their tape from this year, are there issues with the passing game? Yes. But their running game is so much better than what I remember it being.
From the 16-yard line. Running again with a guy to the right side. And the guy can't get out of the tackle by Clark. Gain of 4 to be second down and 6.
You know, they really had a little something going there, or it looked like it, until Clark came out of the secondary to make a play. They're not doing a bad job up front. I mean, this is a Steelers team that last week they obviously were tremendous against the run, but they had issues tackling Ray Rice and in Baltimore in that opener. So this is pretty impressive so far.
Looked more like the Steelers last year, giving up just 31 on the ground, second down and 6. There's a quick toss. Wayne has the first down, and it will be first down and goal. Clark comes over to make the stop from the 3-yard line, first and goal, Indianapolis.
How about Austin Collie coming up with a big block against James Harrison on the outside? How'd you like to have that assignment as a wide receiver? There's Collie right there. Harrison jumps inside, and Collie gives him a shot. He wasn't afraid of that big guy.
From the 3, the guy is the back. On first down and goal. There were 2 tight ends. Here's a dive. And the guy gets about half the distance, and then a flag comes in.
Holding offense number 76. 10-yard penalty, first down.
That's Joe Wrights, the left guard.
I honestly, I didn't see it. It was right here, and he kind of got run over on the play. Did he hold? If he did, I don't know what he held. Yeah, there we go. He got a little bit of the arm, I guess, but
took Hampton down with him.
I think for the most part, he just kind of got buried.
Get away with it a lot. Not that time, though. First down and goal from the 12. And Collins is going to take another timeout. Halfway through the second quarter, 10-0 Steelers. Thursday night on NBC. Check it out. Maria Bello, TV's next great detective, and all-new Prime Suspect. Thursday, 10 o'clock Eastern and Pacific, 9 Central and Mountain, right here on the National Broadcasting Company. First and goal after the Colt timeout. They have 1 remaining in the half. Ball at the 12.
We're good. Like 11.
The dive on the inside handoff. Gain of 4, and he gets hogtied. Polamalu coming up. It'll be second down and goal.
Brody Eldridge on the outside is going to make a pretty nice block here, get James Harrison on his back. And this has been the issue for the Colts down here in the red zone. Kerry Collins just 3 for 11 in his first 2 games. They need a play.
To the 3-yard line. That's a nice catch made by Dallas Clark. He's tackled there by Larry Foote. Had to reach behind him and hold on to the football, and it will be third down and goal now.
Yeah, and that's one of those, if Carey gets that one on the front shoulder, again, another timing issue. You never know. Dallas might be able to turn that up, at least get it down around the 2 1-yard line, whatever. But obviously this has been a team that has been pretty incredible under Peyton Manning in the red zone and struggling so far with a new quarterback. But Carey's only been here a month, so, red zone and short yardage, some of that stuff usually the last to come.
3rd down goal. Broken up, and who else but Polamalu? Polamalu right there. Clark as well, intended for Dallas Clark, and it will be 4th down.
I know Dallas Clark is good, but I don't know. If I see the reigning defensive player of the year out there one-on-one, and Polamalu won that battle keeping Clark on the line of scrimmage. When you have a big, strong, physical cover guy that can disrupt at the line of scrimmage, Dallas Clark had no chance, and really Carey should have gone somewhere else.
Adam Vinatieri, he's automatic. Came over from New England. He's missed only 1 field goal attempt in this building 3 years ago. 21-yarder is good. Colts on the board, down by 7 now. Dan Rooney, whose father Art founded the Steelers, so it's remained in the family. Dan is now the U.S. ambassador to Ireland, has been for a while, and comes back and forth. He, I think, probably gets to about 5 or 6 games a year. In for a week and watching his team tonight up by 7. As McAfee sends this one to the back of the end zone, and the Steelers will begin their next drive from the 20. Talked about Hines Ward, had an eventful offseason on a number of fronts, one of them Dancing with the Stars. You take it from here, Chris.
There we go. Yeah, that's the nice thing is when you're one of the toughest football players on the planet, nobody says anything to you for wearing that outfit. It's all good, and he won it too. He and Emmett, I guess, are the 2 NFL players that have won it.
Well, he's been a Super Bowl MVP and the Dancing with the Stars champion.
And if you care to make a joke about it, do it carefully.
Otherwise, he'll block into the ground. From the 20-yard line on 1st down, Mendenhall. Short Mendenhall out to the 24-yard line. Pat Angerer makes the tackle.
I tell you, I've been really impressed with the run defense so far. The Colts going into that run, Mendenhall had 7 rushes for 7 yards. So we're seeing this Colts team in this whole transition without Peyton Manning. They're doing a better job. There's Gary Brackett, the guy who usually is the inside linebacker, still nursing an injury to his shoulder.
Pittsburgh with 8 rushes, just 11 yards on 2nd down and 6. And Roethlisberger down the sideline, and that'll be caught at the 42-yard line by Antonio Brown. Just staying inside the chalk. 1st down, 18-yard gain.
Well, when you've been beat over the top a few times, this happens to you. The safety is going to try and get there late over the top, but Ben is just finding that too easy. It's the first time we've seen the spin move by Dwight Freeney on the outside. We told you about that abdominal muscle pull that he has, and I don't think there's any question that it's slowing him down just a bit.
No doubt. From the 42-yard line. 5 minutes to halftime. And Mendenhall, and again that run defense, and a flag comes in.
Holding offense number 72. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
Left tackle is Jonathan Scott.
Now that was a little easier to see. That was a little reach over the top and sort of dragged him with him. Right, here we go. Gonna grab Drake Nevis and take him for the ride, and then there's Angerer again. A lot of attention on the tackles for the Pittsburgh Steelers. As usual, Jonathan Scott came in last year though, and he helped them a bunch after they went through a lot of tackles.
Well, Starks is gone. Flozell Adams is gone. 1st and 20, a little dump underneath to Miller, and DeFay is right there to stop him at the 34-yard line.
And then on the other side, they've got the rookie right tackle Marcus Gilbert, who was Marquise Pouncey's roommate at the University of Florida, and I guess they couldn't get Mike Pouncey, so they got his roommate. And a pretty good story about Marquise Pouncey's mom. We'll get to that in a minute.
Oh, yeah. Hall of Fame mother. 2nd and 18. And that's a dump from Mendenhall. And he gets it up to the 39. So Pouncey can't play in the Super Bowl last year because he gets hurt in the AFC Championship game, and you take it from there, Chris.
Well, basically, Mom came up to Mike Tomlin, the head coach, and said, "Coach, can't you just shoot him up?" Now that's a football mom right there. He said, "I wanted to draft his brother immediately when I heard that."
Brother now playing with the Miami Dolphins. 3rd down and 13. Four-man rush. Good pocket, but the coverage is good too. And then the pass is caught down the sideline. And stepping out of bounds at the 42, but not until he picks up the first down, is Antonio Brown. And Roethlisberger is so good at extending plays, and extends this one for a 19-yard gain.
Yeah, but this is idiotic here. You're going to take Mathis and loop him all the way to the far side. Here's one of the great pass rushers, and he goes all the way around, and Roethlisberger's just sitting there all day, and he picks him apart. Don't quite understand that one.
53. So there's a lot of conversions tonight on 3rd down and long. Number 42 now. Mendenhall, and still nothing to speak of in the running game tonight, as he is met head-on at the line of scrimmage by Antonio Johnson.
Antonio Johnson is just one of those big monsters inside that the Colts don't typically get a lot of. Here he is right here, and his job is to hold his ground and throw Pouncey out of the way and slam down Mendenhall. They've been impressive. I mean, these guys, you know, Eric Foster, Drake Nevis, the big guys inside, they're much better against the run than I remember.
Mendenhall, all 9 Steeler carries tonight for a total of 11 yards.
Look out.
And there is another Dwight Freeney created fumble, and picked up by Anderson. And Anderson gets chased by Miller, but he's got a convoy, and he'll go all the way to the end zone.
It's Sunday night. What do you expect? Here we go again.
We've had one by Mathis and now one by Freeney. These guys have spent their whole career with a sack fumble.
Dwight Freeney's going to work the hands here against Jonathan Scott, who looked like he was a little late getting off the ball. And Freeney and Mathis have each delivered, and this may be the only way they were going to score was defensively. I think it was a fumble, didn't you think? Let's take a look.
Well, is it the empty hand? I thought he got it before the hand starts coming
hit
forward.
The ball before it came forward. I don't think there's any question at all.
And Tomlin gets the word from upstairs, and apparently the word is don't challenge. Vinatieri for the point after. Anderson picked up as a free agent. Scores the touchdown. Freeney and Mathis. Freeney and Mathis. 10-10. Freeney and Mathis each with a sack fumble. We're inside 2 minutes. That play took place before the 2-minute warning. Took 14 extra seconds, and this kickoff goes through the end zone. Coming up, the Toyota halftime show with Bob, Dan, and the gang. The Buffalo Bills shocked the Patriots, erased a 21-0 deficit. Bob will talk about the nightmare start to Philadelphia's dream team with Michael Vick breaking his right hand, non-throwing hand. And it all comes up at halftime. Very interesting thing about that play before the 2-minute warning, talked about Tomlin challenging because it was a scoring play. It went upstairs. So he couldn't. You can normally challenge a play, obviously, before a 2-minute warning, as was the case there. But since it was a scoring play, it automatically went up top. On first down, that pass is picked off at the 50-yard line by the Fat Joe, the rookie out of Rutgers, who's running back kicks, and then boy, does he take a shot. Joe LaFedge gets whacked by Jonathan Scott. Flag goes down at the end of the play, and Roethlisberger throws his first pick.
Well, Ben's made a lot of nice throws here tonight. This was a really poor one at a poor time.
After the interception, personal foul, low block, intercepting team, number 47, 15-yard penalty.
After a turnover, you are not allowed to cut block.
Correction, the foul is on the passing team, 15-yard, first down.
So the penalty on the Steelers, and that'll move them even deeper, the Colts, after the interception.
Well, this is the play they've been working all night, and that one just sails. But for Sanders, a huge mistake not touching him down at that point. He basically tries to avoid. Let's see if he happened to kick him or touch him in any way. But he tries to avoid contact, and that's going to allow the Colts to take it down to the other end and be in field goal position already. There it is. You're not allowed to go low. Neither team, Antonio Brown that time, went low to try and take out the lead blockers. And now they're going to be down inside the 15-yard line. And what a turn of events we have going here.
Well, the Steelers have turned the ball over on their last 3 drives. One led to a field goal. One was a touchdown. And now you've got this. And the Steelers with a plus 17 in the turnover department last year and minus 10 because they were down 7 in one game against Baltimore. First and 10.
And they've gotten no turnovers this year.
Right. No takeaways.
Amazing.
Now Collins, he'll swing that to Garcon. There's too much traffic for Garcon to get anywhere. Lawrence Timmons is there. Clock ticking down. 1 timeout remaining for the Colts.
Boy, how good is this Lawrence Timmons getting now? Came out of college, an outside linebacker, made an unbelievable conversion thanks to guys like James Farrier to the inside backer position. And he can really read it in there.
Second down and 12 from the 14-yard line. We'll try a dive. And the dive will take the ball down to the 7-yard line, setting up a 3rd down and 4. Under a minute now to go.
Another good block by Jeff Saturday, working against the guy that he says is the best run defender that he plays against year in and year out, Casey Hampton. But so far it's been Jeff Saturday who's been winning the battle.
Third down, called a foul. And a rare time to see Wayne lining up on the right side. And Collins will throw, and that's incomplete. Wayne has spent 95% of his career lining up the other way, and this time they go with 3 receivers to the right side, and will have to settle for a field goal attempt.
Yeah, he got the coverage he wants. He's got man-to-man coverage right here, just going to run it down to the flag. And Kerry, in order to make that one, you would have had to anticipate that throw, put a little loft on it. But give Ike Taylor credit, he was up to the task again.
So Adam Vinatieri for a chip shot field goal, 24-yard attempt. McAfee to hold, Justin Snow to snap it. Right down the middle. Pittsburgh led 10-0. 13 unanswered points for the Colts. Indy by 3. 15 seconds remaining in the half. McAfee to kick off. Colts on top thanks to 3 turnovers, turning into 2 field goals and a touchdown, and that one goes through the end zone. Sunday Night Football from the host city of the Super Bowl, being brought to you by Verizon, the official service provider of the NFL, by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer, by the highly intelligent new Audi A6, Audi Truth and Engineering, and by Papa John's, the official pizza sponsor of the NFL. The Tamale Place in Indianapolis. Hispanic Heritage Month, NFL. Tamale Place gearing up for big crowds in February. Super Bowl is right here. Pittsburgh will end with a kneel down, taking us to halftime.
This is no accident. The Colts' ability to stop the run in this first half has forced the Steelers to throw the ball, and that's why they're winning the football game.
Steelers are averaging less than a yard per carry. 13-10 is the halftime score. So you have a halftime show with Bob Van and the gang coming up next. But first, these messages from your local NBC station. Hispanic Heritage Month being celebrated. Lucas Oil Stadium, Indianapolis, site of the Super Bowl in February. Al Michaels with Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya. What a first half, and a turn of events with Pittsburgh leading 10-0, and then 3 turnovers leading to 13 points. Joe LaFedge, who had an interception to run back the kick, assuming Sweezen doesn't bang it out of the end zone. But he'll be able to run this one back, taking it at the goal line. And LaFedge brings it back out to the 28-yard line. Colts will start from that spot. Here's the Freeney sack. As we go back here to, did Roethlisberger have his arm coming forward? Keep in mind, this was a very interesting play. All of that happened before the 2-minute warning. The touchdown was scored with 1:46. It was challengeable until Anderson got into the end zone. Then it becomes only the replay official who can look at that and determine every part of the play. And this is harder for a short game. Just to clear one thing up for you. If he gets tackled at the 1, Tomlin could have challenged. Upstairs, they didn't buzz Terry McAuley as to whether it should have been an incomplete pass with the arm coming forward. So it was taken out of Tomlin's hands, because this year, as you know, all scoring plays can be reviewed, and it's not just if the guy crosses the goal line or not. It's every part of the play going back to its inception.
Tell you what's going back to its inception. It's the Colts running game.
Right.
Almost 5 yards a carry here so far against the great Steelers defense.
2nd and 4. Collins throws it away. Let's check in with Michelle.
Well, Jim Caldwell told us coming into this game they wanted to stop the Steelers' run, and he's pleased with the way they've done that. As far as his offense, though, he said, we're not there yet. We need to be sharper. We need to run the ball better, and we need to run it more often. As for Mike Tomlin, I asked him about his running game, and he said, look, we're not going to really make any adjustments there. I thought we were getting it going late in the second quarter. We'll stick to that. And as far as Mathison Freeney, he was prepared for that. He said, we just haven't executed as well as they have.
And that's the difference in the game.
That in the red zone for the Colts, if they scored touchdowns down there instead of field goals, this could have been a bigger lead.
Collins slings it to Collie, and Collie is able to move the chains. William Gay making the tackle on the play. Gain of 6 and a first down.
Yeah, and that's really what Austin Collie does best. Gets in the slot, going against William Gay, who I'm sure Steelers fans will tell you that's the guy that a lot of people pick on the outside. Just a good read. They had 2 receivers in the same zone, sort of giving them a little protection. And Kerry Collins picks up a big first down. They're starting to gain a little confidence here.
Gay playing in place of the injured Bryant McFadden. Carter remains in as the running back. 4th-round draft choice from Syracuse, who's had 18 carries in the first 2 weeks. And down the sideline, and that's Wayne, who had to turn back, and he's covered on the play by Ike Taylor. 2nd down.
Yeah, Kerry Collins doing his Peyton Manning imitation there at the line of scrimmage. He saw single coverage on the outside, just one-on-one, and Reggie Wayne has to win this battle. They try to go back shoulder throw, but Taylor, again, as he has been throughout this game, made the play.
Kerry Collins, 38, 17th year in the league. That's knocked down. And angry with himself is Lawrence Timmons. Covering Wayne, it'll be 3rd and 10. That's something you don't see very often.
Yeah, and it's the difference in the game. Think about it. Freeney and Mathis on the other side, each with a sack fumble. And these guys have gotten one hit on the quarterback between them. So, and that's a pretty rare occurrence there too. Both of them in double-digit in sacks a season ago.
3rd and 10. And Collins throws, and that's caught, and it's very close to a first down. Austin Collie on a 3rd and 10, just shy of the 50-yard line.
Because these safeties are playing so deep, Kerry Collins knew there wasn't going to be a blitz coming. So at this point, he knows he has Austin Collie just one-on-one, and he's going to take advantage. The depth of those safeties tipped him off that there could not be a blitz. See if there was, there's a little shot to the head from James Ferrier, and Kerry Collins wanted another 15 out of it.
Gave Indy favorable spot, turning it into a first down, and then that pass is intended for Clark with a lot of pressure being put on. Gay coming on a corner blitz. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, but he ran into Joseph Adai, who is without question the guy that they trust the most in pass protection. Watch him step up and pick up this corner blitz after the fake. A lot of backs will miss that because they're trying to do the play fake. But Adai is going to get a lot of playing time because he does that better than any of their other backs.
A lot of quick drops, quick passes. Collie that time, no gain. The Steeler longtime defensive coordinator, there he is, 74 years old, Dick LeBeau, full of energy, full of life. 53 years a part of the National Football League, playing and coaching.
Mike Tomlin said every time somebody brings up, maybe Dick wants to talk about retirement, he said, just tell him I'm not available for the next 2 weeks. Work on your game plan for next year and get back to me. I'll be back in 2 weeks.
Still loves it, as innovative as they come. 3rd and 11. And into traffic and intended for Wayne. Down the sideline, it'll be 4th down, and the Colts to punt.
Well, Kerry Collins just looked down his receiver, Reggie Wayne, there all the way. You can't do this to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just gave the safety a huge jump on it. He's staring all the way. I don't really know what he was thinking about. Ryan Clark would have taken Reggie Wayne's head off on that one.
McAfee has punted 3 times, averaging 43 yards a boot. This is Brown back there, making a fair catch at the 14-yard line. 11:33 left in the 3rd. Colts by 3. The men, the bookends, the difference in the game right now. From the 14-yard line, Pittsburgh begins this drive. And again, they can't get anything going on the ground.
Well, here's the difference you talked about. First of all, Robert Mathis. Watch Ben Roethlisberger at the end of this play looking for him. He knows he's coming. He just can't find him. And by that time, he gets the ball out and sack fumble that way. Then Dwight Freeney didn't want Mathis to get all the credit, so he gets one himself and does him one better. Gets 7 points out of the deal.
2nd and 8. Steelers 11 rushes tonight for 12 yards. To the outside, that's Wallace making the catch. Wallace, who earlier had that 81-yard touchdown reception, picks up a first down. Pressure there. Symmetrical.
Absolutely, and game-changing. And for Mike Wallace, that was the first catch that he made since that huge first quarter that he had. 3 for 129 and a touchdown in the first quarter, and comes back and no catches in the second quarter. Maybe those 2 guys, the reason why.
Mathis 33 sack fumbles in his career. Freeney had his 31st. Now finally something on the ground. Mendenhall exploits a hole, takes the ball out to the 40-yard line. First down.
Nice kick out block by Doug Legursky on that one, coming across on the trap right here. I think it's going to catch Angler a little bit by surprise, and there's the hole as a result of that block. That's really the first one they popped all night. Oh boy, don't even want to talk about Rashard Mendenhall and fumbling, but that was close.
Super Bowl, big play. Anger also get hurt on the play. So there's an injury timeout as he comes out. Remember, they're also minus bracket, so very thin now at middle linebacker, obviously. There's Gary on the sideline.
Now, the young linebackers for the Colts have been the bright spot for this defense tonight and really throughout the course of this season, but where they get really thin at this point, Adrian Moten now in the game.
He is a rookie from Maryland, a free agent. Let's see if they go to work on him. Mendenhall, he'll get stuffed at the line of scrimmage. That's Drake Nevis, third-round draft choice, rookie from LSU.
Boy, this Drake Nevis is showing up all over the place here tonight, coming across and making this play. He's working there against Marquise Pouncey, without question, one of the best centers in the game, and Pouncey had a great angle, and Nevis still beat him to the ball and delivered a big hit.
Angerer is back in the game, so he's out for only one play. Second down and 8. Mendenhall on the inside handoff, and Mendenhall fighting his way to midfield. Looks like he is just inches short of the first down with a third down upcoming. Eric Foster makes the tackle.
One of the problems in playing this Tampa 2 coverage is you expect your middle linebacker to run down the middle, watch him go back, and then have to come up on the run. He's supposed to run down the middle of the field, but by the time that he does, Doug Legursky has a running start on him.
3rd and inches. Isaac Redman is the back, and this time Ben will take it himself, as he so often does on 3rd and inches, and Roethlisberger just leans forward across the line of scrimmage to move the chains for Mike Tomlin's team.
There's no doubt the Colts defense, other than that one big play, was a story. Here's some of the inside linebacker play we're talking about. Pat Angerer coming in, living up to his name on that one, delivering a big shot, coming off the block there. Chris Kamawatu on that one. Rod Powers, watch this hit by Cavell Connor, avoiding David Johnson and delivering a big blow on that one.
From the 48, they give it to Redman, and Isaac Redman, who figures to be more a part of the running game, though tonight that is the first time he has carried the ball.
And I tell you, that youthful enthusiasm. We didn't mention Philip Wheeler in there yet, and now he's the one making plays. So across the board, all 3 of these young linebackers have delivered tonight.
Second and 10. In trouble again. Stumbles backwards and then just throws the ball out of bounds. Wallace was there. Not that far out of bounds.
Oh, you're going
to covering.
Watch this one, Al. The spin move is going to push Jonathan Scott back into Ben Roethlisberger. It spins Scott around, and he ends up slamming into Roethlisberger, who comes staggering out of there. That was a circus on that one.
We got 3 guys coming out of a bar. Wow. 3rd and 10.
And here they come again.
Ben dancing. Throwing as he moves forward toward the line of scrimmage. And that's Heath Miller making the catch, taking it to the 25-yard line. And again, he's as good as there is in the league at extending the play. Roethlisberger does it again, 24 yards.
Great point, Al. The reason he could extend the play is they ran this same loop again. Watch how long it takes him to get around there. He's going to get a little pressure, but Ben probably bought 5 or 6 seconds because of the time it took Mathis to get all the way around there, and that's the reason they were able to make the play.
From the 24 now. The 10th play of this drive is a handoff to Mendenhall, who's swinging to the outside and can't get around the corner. Lacey and Connor are both there.
Well, it was the play of the secondary that time that really made the difference. Antoine Bethea came down and plugged the initial hole, and then little Jacob Lacey on the outside. Here he is coming in and stuffing it, and then Lacey on the outside, one of the smaller defensive backs in the league. Watch this tackle. That's solid.
On 2nd and 11. To Mendenhall. The Shark to the 20-yard line. Tackled there by Angerer.
Yeah, the biggest danger that Pat Angerer has out there is that he's going to get hit by his teammate Cavell Connor. These guys are flying to the football. The Colts are fired up out here. Their crowd's into it. And this is a big 3rd down coming up now.
3rd down and 6. 5.5 to go in the quarter. Drive started back at the Pittsburgh 14. 7 rushes, 4 passes. 3rd and 6.
2 tight ends to help on the pass rushes.
The crowd roaring. Roethlisberger throws, batted in the air, and then caught, but shy of the 1st down. Wesley Saunders, a rookie out of South Carolina, was able to make the catch initially, and then had to bobble it, and that cost him a chance to get a 1st down.
Well, Sanders is one of those guys that they're excited about around here. They think he is really gifted athletically, despite some of the issues he had in college. And they are lucky to get this field goal attempt off. Eric Foster almost came in there, the defensive lineman, and made the interception.
Sweezum now attempting a 36-yard field goal, which will tie the game. Sepulveda puts it down, and Sweezum's kick hits the upright. Colts hold, get a break, still have the lead and the ball. Knight has to look on from upstairs in the coach's box, trying to provide a little bit of help, all the help he can, and then wait and see whether he can play again this season. Here's a dive. And Chris, the question becomes, with a couple of neck surgeries that he's had, will he be ready? I mean, I talked to Bill Polian, we all did, and they're still holding out hope that he can play before the season is done. The question becomes, how healthy can he be, ready to play, and when will it happen if it happens?
It probably depends on what the Colts do between now and then, whether or not they'd even consider it. But at one point, they considered using him just in the red zone.
On 2nd and 7, and this is a die.
Which would have been unbelievable when you stop and think about it. They could have brought in Peyton Manning, who couldn't throw the ball very far because of the neck injury, but he could have played in the red zone. Their concern was, could he protect himself? Would he have caused greater damage? And ultimately, they decided to have more surgery.
Well, you talk about specialization. That's carrying it to an incredible extreme.
Now, tell me why Peyton Manning can't talk to anybody up there. He's got the earpiece in, but wouldn't you want a little insight from him as well?
Too many cooks, you know what?
Hey, he can come over here and help us.
Sure. 3rd and 6. And the pass is incomplete. That wouldn't have gotten the 1st down anyway. Swung it out to a die. Covered by Clark. Punt team comes in.
Yeah, it's one of the problems when you end up in a 3rd and long. The Steelers know that they can basically blitz you, and here they come with Timmons, and force you to throw hot. Now, if Peyton Manning's in the game, he probably checks that protection that way and throws it down the field.
McAfee's 5th punt of the game won't be returned because it will spin out of bounds somewhere around the 23-yard line. One Jeff George, who I saw the other day, said, hey, I can play. I know that offense. I'm 44 years old. Right. They've been down that road a few times. Roethlisberger going deep and reaching up and making the catches. Heath Miller, who gets free. Terrence Johnson able to make the stop. Big play right there. And a 1st down after a gain of 30.
Just a beautiful throw here by Ben. They kind of run Mike Wallace down the middle of the field again. and then drop it into Heath Miller underneath it. And that's one of the few big plays we've seen here recently. This Colts defense continues to make big plays, but they have to hold on as their offense struggles here tonight.
Pittsburgh doing all the damage through the air. Here's Isaac Redmond, short game. Let's go to Michelle.
Well, Marcus Gilbert, the rookie right tackle, is questionable for the remainder of the game because of a left shoulder issue. Trainers were comparing the strength of his left shoulder to his right, and there seemed to be a pretty significant difference. You know, he had told me before the game he was excited about facing off with the Colts defensive ends to showcase himself, Al, but that showcase looks like it's come to an early close, at least for the moment.
And Michelle, again, the Steelers, as has been the case now for a couple of years, just shuffling and mixing and trying to find that right combination along that offensive front. Trey Essex is in there for him. Second down and 7. Roethlisberger rolling and then gets whacked. Terrence Johnson bangs him out of bounds.
Well, Roethlisberger keeps looking back for where Freeney and Mathis are, and he paid no attention to Terrence Johnson, who almost took his head off at the end of this. Here comes Freeney around the corner. Roethlisberger's going to sneak a peek back and not pay attention to Terrence Johnson, who unlevels. There he goes. Now he's looking. You know, they get in your head, these guys, Freeney and Mathis. You start seeing them even when they're not there. And woo, what a shot.
Then you get whacked by the 5'9", 190-pound cornerback. 3rd and 3, and the pass is incomplete, but there's a flag. Yes, Antonio Brown got wrestled down by Pat Angerer. It'll be an automatic first down.
Pass interference, defense number 51. Automatic first down.
Good call. They faked the blitz and then tried to drop out late. Thought they had it pretty well covered, but clearly Freeney is going to take Heath Miller, oh boy, right back into his knees. And it was Raheem Brock, right, a week ago that took that shot on Ben that made everybody's heart skip a beat.
40 ticks left in the quarter. From the 38 on first down. It only had one decent run tonight. Still just one. And the ball loose, but after it's over, played dead.
I'm going to tell you, this kid, Drake Nevis, is having one whale of a ball game tonight. There we go. He's hitting right in there, I think. Watch him spin off of this block and get right back in there for the play. That is a nice addition for this team. 3rd round draft pick and big physical athletic guy that can get after the quarterback too.
Clock expires, 3rd quarter. Well, the Steelers have their hands full through 3. 13-10 Indianapolis, and Sunday Night Football continues after these messages. Above Indianapolis, aerial coverage tonight being brought to you by Geico. 4th quarter begins. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya. It's the backup quarterback, Curtis Painter, throwing along the sideline. Pittsburgh has the ball, 2nd down and 11 at the Colts 39-yard line. And Roethlisberger will dump it over the middle, and Vandenhoe will take the ball to the 31-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 3, but a holding call.
72. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Second call tonight on Jonathan Scott, the left tackle.
He almost has no choice because he's getting driven back into Ben Roethlisberger on a consistent basis. This is just a bull rush. When you watch Jonathan Scott, he has good feet, good quickness, but sometimes people can take advantage. And when Freeney shows you all those moves out there, you tend to sit there and get ready for the move, and you forget that he can run over you too.
You can see Scott, no stranger to a flag. 2 tonight, 10 in the last 11 games, tied for the most since he became a starter last year. 2nd and 21 from the 49. Here comes Mathis untouched, but Ben gets the ball away, and then Miller gets tackled by Angerer after a gain of 2. Back we go to Michelle.
Well, we are hearing that Kerry Collins is being evaluated for a concussion, Alan. So as you mentioned, Curtis Painter has been down here warming up. He's currently on the phone. Those phones that they have communication up with the booth, the quarterback's coach, and Peyton Manning, of course, as you mentioned, upstairs in the booth. Don't know exactly who he's talking to, but he looks to be very much more involved on the sidelines, Al.
Wow. Boy, we saw Collins on the bench being evaluated for a concussion. Of course, that would end his night. Third down and 18. And Roethlisberger throws, and that is caught, and it's going to be close to a first down. Emmanuel Sanders making the catch on a third down and 18.
Well, that time Freeney heard his own cause. He comes so hard inside, he takes out the guy inside of him here as they try to get this pass rush. He goes to the ground. David Johnson's going to give him a shot, but he takes out this whole half of the field. Now you've got Roethlisberger at his best, out in space, buying time, and these receivers go to work, and that is a huge play in this game for Emmanuel Sanders.
Rolling left, throwing against the grain. Sanders, who dropped one earlier, atoning here, 28-yard line, back to the ground they go, and nothing happening on the ground. Mendenhall again, that's 16 carries for him tonight for 36 yards.
Yeah, and a big reason why has been the play of Antoine Bethea. Here he comes, and that 8th guy down is just giving the Steelers issues here. That time, Kamawatu ended up kicking out the safety, and Pat Angerer, the linebacker, came free.
Well, 12.5 to go in regulation. 2nd and 9. Wallace at the top of the screen. Roethlisberger the other way. And the pass is incomplete. That's Sanders going down the sideline, covered by Bethea. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, that's one of those, I think, Sanders saw the bump and run coverage, and oh boy, here we go again for the Steelers.
Right guard, that's Doug Legursky, who had to play center in the Super Bowl when Pouncey got hurt. Injury timeout. Legursky on the bench. Pittsburgh dressed 7 offensive linemen tonight. So there's Legursky. Gilbert's out, so they're down to the remaining 5, trying to find the right combo up front. And it's 3rd down and 9. Big play. There's Gilbert still on the sideline. Roethlisberger comes up in the shotgun. And it's almost intercepted. It is broken up. Intended for Sanders, broken up by Powers. And now Sweezum, who missed one in the 3rd quarter, will come in again to try to tie the game.
Tell you what, this is tough. One-on-one coverage against a quick receiver. Just a great play by Gerard Powers. And watch what Mathis did. We have to keep an eye on him. He was basically held on that play, and they got away with it, or this field goal may not have happened.
He missed one from 36 at the upright. This is from 44 to try to tie the game. Sepulveda puts it down. And Sweezum's kick this time is good. 12-10 left in regulation. We're locked at 13 in Indianapolis. America's Game of the Week next week will be in Baltimore. The New York Jets taking on the Ravens. So Rex Ryan goes back to Baltimore. Football night begins with Bob and the gang at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Jets, Ravens. A week from tonight. The kickoff is down in the end zone. Indy will take over the 20, and Curtis Painter comes in to play quarterback. Word from the Colts bench, Kerry Collins being evaluated for concussion. If he had a concussion, he'd have to leave the field. So they're saying still to be evaluated. So he's sitting there by himself. We think it's on that play when Farrier banged him. And now Curtis Painter will come in at quarterback. Painter grew up in Indiana, went to high school in Vincennes, and then went to college at Purdue. Jim Sorgi was the longtime backup, and then when you back up Peyton Manning, you don't play very much. So Painter, who hasn't even practiced very much until this year, is the quarterback from the 20-yard line. Carter is the running back. And and they give it to the Syracuse rookie who chugs his way straight ahead for a gain of 3. Second down and 7.
And Painter has only played in 2 career games, both losses, and his career quarterback rating 9.8. Now that, because it's close to 10, that's not a good thing.
No. Well, that's good in gymnastics. It's not real good at quarterback.
If you're Olga Corbett,
it's great.
You're feeling good.
Second down and 6. Give it to Carter again. Let's go to Michelle.
Well, I spoke with Painter before the game, and he said he felt pretty good and felt pretty confident. He only got a couple of reps in practice early in the week, but he said he took as many mental reps as he possibly could, both on the field, and we saw how Peyton Manning was down there on the field with the quarterbacks at practice on Friday and in the meeting room. And he feels he has the faith of his teammates, Al.
Let's see if he has the faith of the coaching staff. They're going to let him throw it here.
Third down and 4 out of the shotgun. Hangs in there, throws, and then overthrows Garcon. He'd gotten open, overthrows, 4th down.
Oh, what an absolutely brilliant call from the sideline. They're going to go a little hesitation and go, and there is nobody left on the planet. All you have to do is complete that ball, lob it in there. Oh my goodness.
Shake and bake on Ike Taylor, but they can't convert. Punt fielded 30-yard line by Brown. And Antonio Brown is going to get taken down by the punter McAfee at the 32-yard line.
Wow. Curtis Painter had the chance of a lifetime.
And now Pittsburgh in the driver's seat. Well, he mentioned that if you're diagnosed with a concussion, you have to go back to the locker room. They're not saying anything official yet, but
they don't have to.
You can figure it out. There went Collins back to the locker room. So Painter's the guy. McAfee, who's the punter, is the backup quarterback if they would need him. It's first down Pittsburgh after the big run back by Brown. Puts them in good shape at the 33, and that's tipped in the air, and it's incomplete. Second down.
And Mike Tomlin over on the sideline with Ike Taylor, who was fooled on the play, gave him an earful. Here's the play one more time. A double move on the outside, a walk-in touchdown for Pierre Garcon. And then Tomlin afterwards saying, you're playing corner in the National Football League. What are you doing? Don't guess.
And that's a guy in his 9th year, too. Second down and 10 from the 33. Mendenhall can't get out of anybody's way right there. Angerer is there. Jonathan Scott was trying to provide a convoy. And the Pittsburgh running game remains totally dormant.
Well, Freeney occasionally now is taking this inside path, but he's opening up the outside edge by doing that. Luckily, he's got some pretty good players on the outside who have been covering up for him, and this is big.
Third and 8. Right now it would be a 49-yard field goal attempt. Quick pitch, caught, shy of the first, and that's going to set up from the 27-yard line. About a 44-yard attempt as Saunders makes the catch, the rookie from South Carolina. And a flag. Here's McCauley.
Illegal formation. Offense number 72 is lined up in the backfield.
Yeah, I would be too.
Third down.
Yeah, those tackles are having a nightmare. And I tell you, Ben has to start changing the snap count. Because Robert Mathis, here we go. He is right on this edge as close as he can get it. And watch his jump. I mean, he's moving before anybody is. And poor Trey Essex barely has a chance.
36-yard line now. Third and 13. Ben in a jam.
Freeney out of field goal range. And out of field goal range. Ben cannot take that sack. No matter what else happens, you're in position for the game-winning field goal. You cannot take this sack. Not there, so be it. Throw it away. Throw it away. Punt team on.
Penalty was huge. Backed them up. Then the sack, and now Sepulveda to try to pin him deep. And the bounce at the 2. It takes a good hop for the Colts. They'll get it at the 20-yard line with 9.5 remaining in the 4th. In Indianapolis, 13-13. The bookends doing their work tonight. And that sack with Freeney and Foster combining on it to get them out of field goal range, to keep the game tied, to give Curtis Painter a shot to begin this drive from the 20-yard line.
Have to let him throw.
Well, they go with a die, and a die exploits a nice hole over the right side for a gain of 8 to the 28-yard line. Timmons makes the stop there.
I'll tell you, for Jeff Linkenbach, the right tackle, he didn't fare so well at guard. Let's just put it that way and leave it there. But at right tackle, his ability to run block has shown up tonight again and again. That time working against one of the great ones in Aaron Smith.
2nd and 2 with 9 minutes to go. Go to the left side with a die, and a die with another good run. Joseph a die out to the 36-yard line where he's tackled by Foot.
That was a really nice job by Pierre Garçon coming down and getting the final block. Steelers rocking those safeties down. Ryan Clark that time looked like he was in position to make a play, and Garçon gave him a good shot.
The guy averaging almost 5 yards a carry tonight on a dozen totes. This time he's tackled as he probes the left side. Harrison, the first guy there.
Well,
2nd down.
It's game on now because they're going to send Troy Polamalu every single time until you prove you're willing to throw the ball on 1st down. I just don't think you're going to be able to consistently run the football when they're playing run. Now you're 2nd and long. You end up 3rd and long, you've got issues. Right now, though, the Steelers have to play this a little bit balanced. They get to 3rd down, they're going to be coming.
2nd and 10. That one goes through the hands of Clark. 3rd and 10 now coming.
Yeah, and they really weren't even trying to pick up the whole 1st down. They just wanted to make it 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 3. Now at 3rd and 10, you've got a completely different situation, and here they come.
And they go without a huddle to keep that same Pittsburgh defense on the field, and the pass is incomplete. One hopping it to Garçon.
A good job, though, by Painter snapping that one quickly. The Steelers weren't even close to ready. They're just sort of milling around over there, and he caught him a little bit by surprise. He actually had a little more time to deliver that football. And for a guy who has a reputation of having a really strong arm, that one didn't show it.
McAfee, his 7th punt of the night, is a booming kick. Brown fields it at the 10-yard line. Gets a block back there, and Brown with another good run back out to the 36-yard line where he's tackled by the snapper Snow after a 26-yard run back. Dick LeBeau unhappy there. His team has the ball back. Brady and Mathis, check out those helmets. A few collisions there, but they have been the difference makers tonight, creating those 3 turnovers leading to all of Indianapolis's points. Pittsburgh in a fight in a game in which they were a very heavy road favorite, and this is Emmanuel Sanders picking up about 3 with Antoine Bethea making the tackle. So you come into a game like this, and the way it's playing out, and everybody in town here is going, oh, you know, wow, well, you know what, we had a great run. Don't expect anything tonight. That's why we love the National Football League once again.
Well, the Colts players wanted to prove on national television that they weren't just Peyton Manning, and so far they're making a pretty good point.
Mendenhall. You throw away that 15-yard run he had. I mean, overall tonight, Mendenhall, 17 carries, 38 yards.
Robert Mathis is going to cram this thing in, and then you're going to get Devell Connor and Dwight Freeney sandwich him at the end of the play. Their run defense has just so far exceeded my expectations tonight. Here's a third down. Here's a chance.
Those totals include that 15-yard run, so they've stuffed them on everything except that one run. Third down and 8.
Right side, the backup players in on this offensive line for the Steelers.
And they move, but there's no flag. And Roethlisberger takes some heat, and down he goes, and the pass is incomplete.
Well, Dwight Freeney that time goes low and just falls into Roethlisberger, forces the jump pass almost, and Jonathan Scott has seen every move imaginable. Not a penalty there because he was in contact with the tackle and just falling to the ground.
Here's Sepulveda's boot now. Flag is thrown. White fields the ball at the 27-yard line. Terry McCauley, one of the best in the business, who has ref 2 Super Bowls, will give us the call here.
Looked like a hold.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 27, 10-yard penalty, first down, timeout.
Penalty is on Lacey. 6:03 remaining, fourth quarter. Tied at 13. Look inside the Indiana State Capitol as we come back to Lucas Oil Stadium, where Painter hands off to a die on first down. And the die was some tough running over the right side for a gain of 7 to the 25-yard line. Second down and 3.
I tell you, you can barely recognize sometimes this Colts offensive line in their run game. It's fantastic what they've been doing. Watch the double team go here and push, I think that's Aaron Smith, back into the linebacker. So the linebacker now, Ferrier, I believe that is, couldn't do anything. He can't go around that because he has gap responsibilities. When that double team gets pushed into him, he just has to hold his ground, and they pick up 7.
Now they bring in a fullback, Chris Gronkowski, who's in front of the die, and it gives Painter an opportunity to throw it. Instead, a fumble, and Polamalu will take it into the end zone. James Harrison created it. Troy Polamalu scores, and Pittsburgh takes the lead. Their first takeaway of the season. The Pittsburgh Steelers go almost 3 games without a takeaway. Unbelievably enough. And then, of course, you get one at this most opportune time for Pittsburgh.
Does it remind you of anything? Remember in Baltimore last year, game on the line, and Polamalu got the sack fumble. Here we go against Anthony Costanzo on the outside. No doubt about it. And the Steelers defense, as you would expect, they're going to win the game for them.
Scoring play reviewed upstairs and confirmed. Polamalu goes in for the score.
That's the clock in your head that the young quarterbacks without experience just don't have. When Polamalu's coming, and he was on the blitz that time, you have to know other people are coming with him. And there he is again, Defensive Player of the Year.
Squeezing for the point after. 4th career touchdown for Troy Polamalu.
Well, they paid Kerry Collins $4 million for a reason, to bring in experience, and that time Curtis Painter got caught. We've all seen it before, just even in the broadcast booth. But he really didn't have much of a chance on that one.
Brought in the fullback, which they hadn't done all game long, with a dive behind him on a 2nd down and 3, and then they go to the air and disaster.
Well, the huge advantage the Colts have always had over the years is defensive linemen essentially give up on trying to come after Peyton Manning. He's so adept changing protections, getting the ball out. Teams are afraid to blitz him, and yet as they go on to their 3rd quarterback now in Curtis Painter, all bets are off.
Professor to run back the kick. Potentially. Touchback to the 20 it comes, and we can tell you that Sunday Night Football from Indianapolis being brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. By Hyundai, if it's fuel efficient and stylish, it's probably a Hyundai. By Windows 7 and by Universal Pictures Dreamhouse. Theaters everywhere Friday. The famous Children's Museum of Indianapolis, the world's largest, over 120,000 artifacts, million visitors a year. And right now, Curtis Painter trying to turn in a Picasso from the 20-yard line. Gain of 3. I take that back, Chris. That's very
Yeah, it's late in the game.
Well, you don't even look at me.
You know, I was going to give it that fake laugh, but even that didn't seem right. You know, I just try to be real.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
usually you're so good.
You're right.
Track up all day long.
A throw-out race. 2nd and 7 from the 23. That's caught. That's going to set up a 3rd and short. Brody Eldridge, number 2 tight end. Keenan Lewis makes the tackle. Clock under 4.5.
Well, the idea is the correct idea. Dick LeBeau's been loading up on these blitzes, so you have to get the ball out of your hand. Just take those quick ones. Hope you break a tackle at some point, but you have to convert this first down.
Carter in the backfield with Pinker. And it's going to be caught at the 30-yard line. And let's see where they spot this one. That's Collie. The nose of the ball is on the 30-yard line stripe. It will be a first down, and it is.
That's a pretty good spot.
Yeah. If you're the Colts.
I think I would snap this ball quickly here if I were the Colts. Let's see.
Oh, baby.
Where his hands were when he caught that ball, looked like he was reaching back across 30.
Challengeable, but Tomlin's going to let it go. And Pinker's going to throw to the outside, and that's going to be caught by Garcon. Into Pittsburgh territory to the 43-yard line. First down. Got it off before James Harrison came in.
Well, Joe Wrights, the guard, is going to step out, change up the coverage a little bit. Got just enough with James Harrison. And this was a strike this time by Painter. You know, this guy, he doesn't play, doesn't even practice. With Peyton Manning all those years, he takes every snap and a practice and a walkthrough. And they said, how could you really expect this kid to develop? He better develop now.
Looking ahead, all of their timeouts available to both teams. Pressure is on. That time Polamalu came into the backfield and forced the issue. It'll be second down.
Yeah, if Polamalu hadn't been faked out by the fake by Painter, he would have gotten him again right off the edge. Watch this. Painter's going to pump and Troy's going to pull up. If he hadn't, we'd have had sack fumble number 2.
And maybe touchdown number 2.
Yeah.
Second down and 10.
They're pulling out all the toys now on the defensive side.
Here comes the heat. There's the pass, and it's caught by Garcon. And Lewis runs him out of bounds at the 24-yard line. So the pressure was put on by the front. They rushed him, and he got it away for 18 yards. So Garcon, left side one time, right side second time.
I tell you what, that was the most perfectly timed throw we've seen all night. That was better than anything Kerry Collins did. Maybe Curtis Painter is loosening up.
At the 25, a dive in the backfield now. Collie in the slot. Wayne wide left. And Garcon to the right. A dive. Joseph a dive. First down. He takes it to the 13-yard line. Mike Pollock provided the convoy for him.
Oh, that's a great call out. It was Mike Pollock indeed right here. Watch this block. They're getting off the ball. They're pushing them down the field. Even when Pittsburgh's anticipating run, they haven't been able to stop the Colts from running the football. That throw by Painter was huge. It made the Steelers go back to a base look on defense and allowed them to get back to the running game.
91 rushing yards on 20 carries tonight for Indy. High snap, it comes down. And it's incomplete again. Polamalu taking up residency in the backfield.
Yeah, Joseph Adai looked like he was going to get Polamalu, but he had a blitzer inside. I think I would have opted for the guy with the hair here. Coming off the edge. You can see the other linebacker, Timmons, coming in there, but Polamalu missed that one by he actually got his hand on the ball.
Second down and 10. 2:19.
There he is, right there. You always have to factor him in.
Harrison on the defensive right. Painter goes the other way. Garcon makes the catch, and he'll get taken out of bounds a couple of yards shy of the first. Looks to the officials and says, "Where's the flag? Where's the flag?"
I think that is a good argument on the part of Pierre Garcon. Just the quick play at the end of this one. And let's watch. I think he takes at least one step out of bounds, and then Ferrier gives him another shot.
Got away with it.
Yeah, that ball easily could have been on the 3-yard line with a first down.
A first and goal. Instead, it's 3rd down and 2. Oh, and there's Polamalu, but he gets the ball to Adai, and Adai is into the end zone. Polamalu almost got there, and Adai winds up in the end zone, and the Colts go 80 yards in 10 plays.
Polamalu goes for Painter instead of Adai. He had to make the decision, goes for the quarterback, and instead Joseph Adai gets in the end zone if that knee wasn't down. Let's just double. I think it's a touchdown.
I think it stands, but McCauley is going to wait to see if he gets buzzed, which apparently he has been. So he will come over. McCauley will take a look, as the guys upstairs have told him, since it's a scoring play, let's take a look again.
Unbelievable for Troy Polamalu. Twice, I think he's in.
I do too. At worst, it's a first and goal from the 1-inch line.
But twice on that drive, once he has his hands on the ball, and then that time he just picks the wrong guy to attack.
I've seen nothing that would overturn this. But then again,
I'm not real sure that knee ever hit the ground.
Right. I think the ball is over.
Thought there was a little space almost the entire time. The strange thing about this, Al, is that it could actually work in Pittsburgh's favor that was a touchdown.
Right, because they have more time.
No question.
Absolutely.
So now you're going to get not only the 2-minute warning, but all your timeouts. Troy Polamalu came within inches of taking that handoff. Oh, man. I mean, he's just swatting at the ball. The Pittsburgh Steelers missed by inches in the Super Bowl on several plays, and missing by inches here, too.
Remember, the ball just has to cross the plane, cross the goal line. We don't see anything that would overturn it.
How about Curtis Painter stepping up, though? That was impressive. That throw he made, it loosened up the Steelers' defense just enough.
Well, he had 7 passes for 60 yards of the 80 on that drive.
Look how close he is. He actually swats at the arm of Curtis Painter. That could have so easily
After
been a
review,
fumble.
the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Joseph Adai getting a little work done on the Colts sideline as well.
So Adam Vinatieri now to tie the game with 2 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in regulation. McAfee puts it down. 20-20.
It's no longer a game of inches. It's a game of fractions of inches. Just missed. Troy Polamalu. I almost feel a little greedy all the games we've had this year.
Yeah, well, you
can't believe it. Troy Polamalu just can't believe. He said, I swatted at it, I had it. I can't believe it.
I think every game we've had has gone down to the last play, right?
Yeah, as a couple of my Twitter friends told me last time, every game comes down to the last play after my comment.
It was a wild day in the National Football League again. And Pittsburgh coming in tonight heavily favored with no Peyton Manning on the other side. And Indianapolis has given them a great battle. Thanks in good measure to that defense, and then Painter with an 80-yard drive. And McAfee sends that one through the end zone. So Ben Roethlisberger tries to give them the lead here. So the Jets today go into Oakland and lose to the Raiders, who are now 2-1. They'll go to Baltimore next week. And the Ravens had an easy time of it. 389 passing yards for Joe Flacco. And that's going to be your matchup next week on Sunday Night Football from Baltimore. Jets, Ravens.
And all those Baltimore players have their Colts jerseys on at this point.
And the only unbeaten team right now in the AFC, the Buffalo Bills. Steelers spread it out. Quick throw, 5-yard gain. Wallace gets wrestled down by Terrence Johnson, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning. All timeouts remaining for both teams. To their own 26, 2nd and 4 when we come back. Knotted at 20. From tonight, right after the game, post-game report. Michelle with an interview from the field. Bob, Tony, and Mike wrapping up the game and talking about NFL news as well. Chris and I look ahead to next week's game. Meanwhile, 2 minutes to go. All 3 timeouts at Pittsburgh's disposal. From the 26, 2nd down and 4. And that will convert as Hines Ward makes the catch, takes it up to the 36-yard line.
The Steelers are helping the right side. Substitutes in on that side, Ramon Foster and Trey Essex. They're either going to have a back or a tight end that way to help against Mathis.
And Weldy Moore is in the backfield. He blocks Mathis, but then Roethlisberger is able to spin away from Foster. Throw against the grain, and it's incomplete, intended for Antonio Brown.
I don't think we've ever talked to any defensive player getting ready to play Ben Roethlisberger that doesn't tell us the same thing. Just because you get there does not mean you're going to get him on the ground. He's a big, strong guy. That time Roethlisberger's strength saved the sack. But he did miss the throw at the tail end of it. I thought he had a chance.
Against the grain and wobbled it. Incomplete, 2nd down, 10 from the 37.
Not much help on this edge this time. Maybe an opportunity.
Quick throw to the outside. Moore cuts it back, breaks a Bethea tackle, and gets taken down finally at the 41-yard line. Big play by Weldy Moore.
Well, just a pick play down the field that time. And Bethea, who was busy giving signals, got caught on the pick. We're going to come right here. He was just late getting out there, and you see the receiver going up the field just to get in his way. Nice read, nice call that time by Ben Roethlisberger.
And he's tackled out of bounds, so the clock is stopped with 1:23. The ball at the 41. Ben stepping up. He's going to pack it in. He's going to pick up a 1st down or close to it. And now the Steelers with Jonathan Scott.
First charge timeout.
Oh
Pittsburgh.
my goodness.
He's down, and that's a charge timeout in the last 2 minutes. And again, they're playing with their last 5 offensive linemen. And there's one of them right now on the field.
It's obviously been a very tough night trying to take on Dwight Freeney, and this time Freeney just goes right through him, and he ends up running into Chris Kemuatu and gets his ankle stuck. And now they are down. They have no backup, so one of their starters or one of their tight ends is going to have to come back in the game, and I think Marcus Gilbert is back on the field, the starter.
He is. They bring him back. He was out. Looked like he might have been done for the night. They're going to bring him back. They've got the 3 tight ends in Heath Miller, David Johnson, and Wesley Saunders, the rookie. The shoulder injury was what knocked out Gilbert, but he has to come back in as Scott is still on the turf.
7 tackles a season ago they went through and made it to the Super Bowl. Also, of course, Marquise Pouncey didn't play in the Super Bowl. And somehow this team persevered, and they have the chance to do it here again tonight.
And Scott appears to be ready to get assisted to his feet here. When Gilbert went out, remember this is what they were working on, the left shoulder. And he's been out for over a quarter. Scott will be assisted off the field. That patchwork line. Meanwhile, they have gotten themselves into field goal range, and they can attempt to work both ends against the middle here in terms of trying to get it a little bit closer and take as much time off the clock to leave Indianapolis with as few seconds as possible.
But remember what happened last time they were down in this area.
Oh, yeah.
They had a penalty. They took a sack. Ben loves to hold the ball, move around. He makes big plays. But at this moment, you're already lined up with an opportunity to kick the game-winning field goal. So no sacks here.
So Gilbert is not going to play left tackle. Remember, this is the rookie who was playing right tackle. So they're asking him to play left tackle on 1st and 10 now from the 30-yard line. Keep it on the ground. Moore takes the ball down to the 25-yard line.
Boy, it's interesting. Mewelde Moore at this moment in the game getting carries. I don't think he had a carry coming into this game tonight, but he's the 3rd down back, so they sort of put him in there.
And Indianapolis is going to have to take a timeout, and they do, because already the Steelers are in field goal range and they don't want to let them take it all the way down. So they have to use their timeouts. It's 2nd down and 5 now with exactly 60 seconds to play.
But if you pick up the 1st down, then you dictate it, and you can kick it on the last play of the game. So they're 5 yards away here with 2 opportunities to pick up this 1st down, and those timeouts won't mean anything anymore.
Could come down to Sweezum, who's made 2 from 48 and 44, missed from 36. And so the 2 coaches who were both on Tony Dungy's staff back in 2001 in Tampa Bay. 2nd down, 5. Conservatively, Moore, and he's going to take the ball to within a yard of a 1st down. And again, Indianapolis compelled to take that timeout.
Charge timeout, Indianapolis. Please set the game clock to 55 seconds. 55 on the game clock.
3 seconds on the clock. Colts are down to their final timeout, and right now, if they don't gain another yard, you would be looking at about a 39-yard field goal attempt.
I'll tell you, that last play, nice by Chris Kemuatu. Maybe he should be on Dancing with the Stars next. Watch him pull around and dance his way into this hole to lead Mewelde Moore. That is not an easy block or move for a big guy like Kemuatu, one of the better pulling guards in all of football.
Ward can lend him his outfit.
I think he'll pass.
Painter can only wait and hope. 3rd and 1. And To the up back they go, and they give it to Isaac Redmond, and he picks up a big first down. So now they can take it all the way down and bring Sweezum in to win the game at the gun.
Boy, I tell you, what a performance by this Indy defense tonight. Against all odds, they fought as hard as any defense I've seen in a long time. They gave up the one big play early to Mike Wallace, and since then it has been feeding frenzy time for Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis.
Gave him a heck of a battle. You can only hope that Sweezum misses again, or they get a block. And Roethlisberger will take a timeout.
Large timeout in Pittsburgh. 30-second timeout.
This is the beginning of a 4-game stand against the AFC South for Pittsburgh. You look at their schedule. If they come out of here 2-1, they play the AFC South over the next 3 weeks, and you go down the line. After the halfway point of the season, they have Cincinnati twice, Cleveland twice, St. Louis. Now that's what it's going to look like up until the Baltimore game on NBC on November the 6th. And after that, it looks like a cakewalk.
I thought this was going to be a cakewalk. Tell you just wonder, maybe Flozell Adams gets a call this week.
Somebody will. There goes Scott on the cart. They run another play before what they hope will be a game-ending field goal. And Roethlisberger is going to set it up exactly where Sweezum wanted it, on the left hash mark.
Now, most kickers prefer to be on that left hash, even more so than straight down the middle, because when they hit it, it hooks a little bit, and so they like having that angle.
Which is why you set it up on the left side of the tee box very often if you have a draw, correct?
Same
thing.
Correct.
Same principle.
Yeah, but I can hit it out of bounds either direction.
Well, Sweezum hit one almost out of bounds when he hit the upright, when he missed from 36. But with 8 seconds left, Sweezum to try to win the game, even though there might be a couple of ticks left at the end.
Jamal Anderson got pressured last time on the one he missed.
Sepulveda to hold it. From 38, Sweezum splits the uprights, but there's a flag, and I think it's running into the kicker because Jacob Lacey made contact with Sweezum.
Running into the kicker, defense number 27. Penalties decline. Field goal's good.
And the Pittsburgh Steelers, with their hands full, have taken the lead 23-20. Lacey diving and trying to block it and making contact. And the kick is good with 4 seconds remaining.
Well, Ben, he's been in tougher spots than that, but he knows he did nothing but survive here tonight. And he has issues in front of him. They have got to find some answers for this revolving door up front. But he is going to be happy to be moving on from Mathis and Freeney. Well, I tell you, Freeney tonight, every time I come in here, I go, he can't be any better than that. And then he is again.
Doing it with a strained abdominal muscle as well, because he didn't do nearly the spinning that he normally does, but still he and Mathis kept him in the game.
Great defensive play here tonight.
And that will go through the end zone. So one play barring a defensive foul from the 20-yard line. Clyde Christensen, the offensive coordinator, with Jim Caldwell. So what do we do? Do we run the Cal Stanford play here?
You know what I would probably, and everybody has a different theory on it, I probably would throw one up and try and do a little acting with one of my wideouts to see if I could draw one of those pass interference calls down the field and take one untimed shot to tie it up with a field goal.
Well,
Acting's in vogue now in the NFL. I don't know if you've heard that or not.
Yeah, but you don't see a flag thrown very often in those circumstances. But
you don't see it converted from the 20.
No, you don't.
Either.
No, you don't. What a story this would be. Painter and the Colts with their last shot. And their last shot is a one-hopper to Collins. But at least the Colts were competitive tonight. They weren't in the opener. They got beaten by Cleveland here last week. And tonight they gave Pittsburgh a ball game. As Pittsburgh goes to 2-1, and the Colts are now 0-3 after week 3 of the 2011 National Football League season. Good one tonight at Lucas Oil Stadium. Pittsburgh wins it 23-20. Our Wendy's post-game report coming right up.